Hello and welcome to What Map, the map review show for Cities Skylines. There are tens of thousands of maps in the workshop now, and so finding the right one for your next build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review one, using our 5-star rating for aesthetics, detail and gameplay potential, awarding only the very best the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Friday's What Map. BonBon here, how you doing? Well, Friday is request day, and today we're looking back a few weeks where Marcus came up and offered the suggestion of Norwest Isles by Twisted Melon. The name Twisted Melon might ring a bell to you. We did them back in episode 131 with Sandsea Mesa Redux, which was a very interesting map. There's your start square in a harbour. Quite interesting. But yes, anyway, Sandsea Mesa Redux was very, as your resources, was an interesting map. Got 4s across the board and it was very visually striking. If you've not seen that episode, I highly recommend checking it out. Mass transit and Norwest theme are the only 2 requirements of the workshop. A few ideas about 9, 25 and 81 tile play. Worth a read. Also, they're suggesting the rain day LUT, which is what I'm using. So if the map seems a bit gloomy and a bit overcast and a bit dull, that's intended. I'll tell you something else that's intended. See those waves there? See them? That is by skill. Skill, intention. They are intended. They were put there for a reason, and we'll get to that. So anyway, yeah, how you doing? Oh, look, wildlife. Oh, the poor little fella can't get across the road, and he's got no shelter. Look, there's no trees, no nothing. Poor guy's going to die of exposure. I feel sorry for that deer. Poor fella. You evil man, Twisted Melon. Evil, evil, Twisted Melon. Right, we got intersection time. Now this isn't too bad. Okay, it could be a little tidier and a little cleaner, but it works, and the off ramp is, considering it's coming from a height, is quite a steady, simple slope. That goes off to the fog. We are going to go across the bridge, where we have this very awkward 3 roads into 1 intersection, going onto a national road. So you've got 3 lanes breaking into 1 lane, and 1 lane breaking into 3 lanes. Very tricky. Then we got these bridges, not properly aligned, but very difficult to align rail and road bridges. But as long as there's no shipping underneath that, because that could be problematic. But we'll have a look at that a bit later on. And over here again, difficult to align the pillars and the, yeah, there we are. Anyway, ignore that. And then we'll head off around the island. Now this road goes mostly, oh look at that island in the distance. I like that. Okay, I know it's just striking. I like it. Speaking of striking, we'll come back and check the detailing over here a bit later on. Don't think we're going to ignore that one. We are going to come back to that one. See, following the roads and the rail gives you a chance to have a look around the scenery as well. And then we'll go back and look at the interesting stuff later. More detailing, ignore all that. Lovely. And then this road then takes us down to the harbour, which is our start square. So it's a handy place. And the harbour is detailed. Now look at this. See, look. We have the jetty isn't quite reaching the water, but the water is moving because of those waves, and they are coming up just about reaching the bottom of the pier there before drifting back out again. Quite nice. I quite like that. Clever work. Very nice. Anyway, yeah, then the rail. Let's follow the rail back the other way, shall we? We'll ignore the detailing for now. And the rail goes. Now, this is a little too steep, although it is more of a fantasy map, I feel, this one. So I think within the bounds of the game, we can probably turn a blind eye to that one. We go right past the factory and on, and then around the islands. Like I say, this road and rail goes halfway round the island on one side of the island. And as the rail goes, this is quite smooth and good straight lines and not lumpy bumpy. All good. Good. And then we're going to zip around this way to get down to the right height for the rail bridge. It's a perfect bridge. and perfect bridge. Whether it's aligned or not is a different matter, but it's a perfect bridge. Then this goes up underneath the highway. And then we got this interesting interchange here with a little up and over. I've seen worse. Definitely works. We could go back the way we started, or shall we head off towards the fog? I think we should do that and prepare ourselves for an asset review. Get ready, because here it is. Now this one, there are two virtually identical ones on the workshop. This is 1 to 1.5 Vista Tower Chicago by hvalreki. I'm hoping I'm close with the name there, hvalreki. Yeah, there is a 1 to 1 Vista Tower, which is obviously an extra chunk higher because it is actually to size ratio. But I felt to be able to fit this into the review, something a little bit smaller makes it easier for me to get into the cinematics. Like that. That's quite an attractive building. I'm assuming there is a Vista Tower in Chicago. I've done no checking because I rely on you guys to tell me tell me if I'm wrong. But I like this. This is a nice bit of architecture. Very nice. So it's 1 to 1.5 Vista Tower Chicago by hvalreki. And that is today's set of the day. Right, now, shipping routes. We've got this one that goes along and then cuts back on itself. Don't know why, that was a bit silly. And then this goes off and into the harbour, which is great. So no ships going through the harbour walls, very good. This then heads back into the fog that way. Then we've got a second branch that comes down this way and goes either side and under each of those two bridges. Now that, I reckon it might be a bit close on the left hand pillar for shipping clipping. The right looks okay, certainly looks high enough. Let's have a look on this one. This one probably is okay. I think that one on the left is probably close, but I reckon it's good. I reckon we can allow that. And so on to water movement. And we normally check out the arrows, but today we can just check out the waves. See, there's no rivers on this map, so they've made absolutely certain there's water movement in the ocean with proper waves. And this is continuous permanent wave motion, you know. This doesn't just stop, it carries on. What I would like to have seen though, and I think it's missed a trick here, is these cliffs. I would love to have seen like rocks etc placed around them to make it look like the water has really been bashing away at them. Because the island for me, the whole shape of the island doesn't seem to say that it's been having a lot, even this coastline here doesn't say to me we've had a lot of water crashing into it. It's just a cliff. And I know cliffs is what happens, but it doesn't look rugged enough. Over here we've got water movement. You can see the little waves over here as well. Everything's moving. Even here you can see that bobbing up and down, but there is definitely motion, left to right motion as we're looking at it, which is great. Absolutely brilliant. And for me, possibly the high point of the map, the fact that we've got permanent waves. And the lighthouse, the essential lighthouse. Is that a good location? I think possibly yes. I think yes, because shipping would be coming up here. Less so here though, because shipping that's coming down here is already in the, yeah, maybe one on the end of that island. Of course, we've got the two essential lighthouses here, which are being used as markers to point to the entrance, which is, I get that. I get that. I can accept that. Just that one pointless lighthouse I felt there. Oh look, there's another lighthouse over here. This one, don't see any purpose for that either. I don't. It's just it's there, isn't it? Okay, now let's have a look at this island. I said I like these islands. There's two over here. I like the height of them. I like the terraforming. I like the fact that they're rugged and wild looking. I think they're really. I mean, okay, yes, possibly too high, but I like them. I really like that. And there's one over here as well, which is almost identical, quite high, wedge-shaped, identical shape. Now the thing is though, do these two islands look like there's a giant just off of the map and their feet are just in slippers protruding in from the fog? Giant slippers they are. And then we've got this little island. Yes, I go with the lighthouse on that end. Yes, happy with that. And then the jetty, of course the jetty. Terraform is quite pleasing on this island as well. This one, yeah, kinda. I mean, we've got the smooth land and then you've got the big lump of hill in the middle. I'm not sold on the smooth land rolling into how that blends anyway. That's me. 2 more islands over here. This one's quite nice as well, I think. But like I say, I think they've missed a trick with the way the waves are hitting this end here. Definitely would have liked to have seen that made more rugged, and the whole shape of the island to have been just speared a little bit, I think. Anyway, we've got this central, I'm going to call it mountain range, but it's like a ridge. It's a spine running down the island. And then the harbour, our harbour detailing. They've got these rocks. Now, this proves that they know how to use rocks. So why not use them at the end there? I don't know. Well, we've got rocks outlining all these plots. Like here, we've got there's a front gate. And, yeah, the burnt down shack in the middle. Front gate with a couple of logs to trip over. And same here. Little area there, all nicely zoned off. It's quite pretty. I mean, demolishable, clearly, but quite pretty. And here, the factory, to get into the factory, you've got to come down here and make your way. And you've got, of course, the castle in the factory. But to get into there, you see those logs to trip over to get into the factory. Ah, I don't know. Anyway, if we keep moving along here, there's some more zoned areas over here. See, they're all zoned and cornered off, like here. To get the truck out there, we've got the logs stopping you from driving away with the old car there. Very, very nice indeed. And then this fake road, and we've got a little castle thing there. And we've got a castle in the grounds of a house, so that's probably a folly rather than a castle. Feel free to look that one up. We've got quite a few follies in the UK. And then that leads down to the lighthouse and the jetty, of course. Finally, the mainland. Now we see there's a bit of build room down here, either side of the highway, if you want to do something over here. And I thought that was the deer, but it's not, it's a tree. Camouflaged as a deer. And then we've got these hills going off into the clouds, which are not too accessible, but I think they add a little bit of an interesting background, if nothing else. And that kind of is it for the map. Let's find a little place to settle down and see the ratings. How about here, looking at this little lighthouse here? Why not? Okay. Aesthetically, it's not very pretty, and I don't think changing the LUT would make too much of a difference, to be honest with you. I can only give it 2 stars for that. For detailing, it's very nice to see all these waves. 2 stars. That's all I had to say. That's why I went quiet. 2 stars. Gameplay potential. Now, I think this map, if taken on as a proper challenge to make something with it, I think there's gameplay potential in that sense. Certainly not in just a regular map sense, but go on, take it on as a challenge. I'll give that 3 stars for gameplay potential. And that is Norwest Isles by Twisted Melon. And that is today's map. Now, if you want to get involved in voting for which map I do next Friday, you can join me on Patreon and all these friends here. I've got the vote already set up, so feel free to run across there, join up as a Patreon member, and you can vote on which map we'll do next Friday. That's it. I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a great day, and see you tonight for What Theme?